Everyone wants success. Everyone wants to become better, stronger, more confident. But the truth is, most people fail not because success is impossible, but because they try to change everything at once. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect motivation, and while waiting, they slowly give up. Their dreams don't disappear in one day, they fade away little by little. But what if success doesn't need big actions? What if just a few minutes a day could completely change your life? This is the story of a boy named Zayn. Zayn was an ordinary student, not weak, not brilliant, just average. In school, he was always in the middle. He wasn't the one teachers praised, and he wasn't the one people noticed. He was simply there every day. He watched others move forward. His classmates spoke confidently, answered questions without fear, and achieved things that seemed impossible for him. Whenever he compared himself to them, he felt smaller. He felt like no matter how hard he tried, he would never reach their level. Still, he wanted to change. One day, he decided he would study for hours and become the best. He pushed himself hard for a few days, but soon he got tired. He stopped. Another time, he promised he would wake up early every morning and build discipline. But after a few days, he failed again. He tried learning new skills, starting new routines, making big plans. But every time, the pressure of becoming perfect overnight broke him. And slowly a dangerous thought started growing inside him. Maybe I'm just not good enough. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. Nothing changed. His confidence dropped. His motivation disappeared. And deep inside, he began to accept that he would always remain average. One evening, as he lay on his bed scrolling through his phone, he came across a simple line. If you can't do big things, do small things consistently. Read it once, then again. Something about it felt different that night. For the first time, he didn't make a big plan. He didn't promise to change everything. He didn't set impossible goals. Instead, he asked himself one simple question. What is the smallest thing I can do today? The answer was simple: 5 minutes. The next day, Zayn sat down and studied for just 5 minutes. No pressure, no expectations, just 5 minutes. It felt too small to matter, but he did it anyway. The next day, he did it again. 5 minutes, then slowly 6 minutes, 7, 10. Without realizing, he had started something powerful. Instead of forcing himself to learn everything, he focused on small steps. A few pages of reading, a few new words, a few minutes of practice. There was no stress, no fear of failure, just consistency. At first, nothing changed. Days passed, but the results were invisible. No one noticed. Even Zayn sometimes felt like he was wasting time, but this time he didn't stop. Weeks passed. Those 5 minutes slowly turned into 30, then 40, then 1 hour. His mind became sharper. His focus improved. The things that once felt difficult started becoming easier, and something even more important began to grow: his confidence. One day in class, the teacher asked a question. As usual, the class went silent. Zayn felt his heart beating faster. A voice inside him said, "Stay quiet like always." Another voice, a new voice, said, "Try." Before he could overthink, his hand slowly went up. The entire class turned toward him. This was not the Zayn they knew. He stood up. His voice was not perfect. His hands were slightly shaking, but he spoke. And this time he knew the answer. The teacher smiled. The students were surprised, and Zayn, for the first time, felt something he had never felt before: belief. That moment was not luck. It was not talent. It was the result of small efforts repeated every single day. Months passed, and the change became clear. Zayn was no longer invisible. He participated in class. He spoke with confidence. He stayed consistent with his habits. He didn't become perfect, but he became better. And one day, when a friend asked him, "How did you change so much?" Zayn simply smiled and said, "I didn't try to change my life. I just changed 5 minutes of my day." That is the truth most people ignore. Success is not about doing everything at once. It is about doing something every single day, because small actions may look weak, but when repeated daily, they become powerful. They build habits. Habits build discipline, and discipline builds success. So if you feel stuck, if you feel average, if you feel like nothing is changing, don't try to change your whole life today. Just change 5 minutes. Because in the end, big success is nothing more than small improvements repeated every single day. And your 5 minutes today can become your future tomorrow.